Here's your brief explanation as to why these winter storms do what they do and why it's tough to figure out exactly what's going on. Sometimes a low pressure system comes from anywhere in the western USA, and recently they have been coming a little bit further south than they should be in the wintertime. And what we are looking for is any type of low to track lower than the Appalachian Mountains. Those are the mountains here in the eastern US. And if the low gets lower than the more southern than the Appalachian Mountains, it can pick up a lot of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and then it starts to turn a little bit north as it comes along the coast. And sometimes when it starts to turn a little bit north, it actually meets with a different type of low that could be forming just off the Carolina coast or off the mid-Atlantic coast, as they call it. Sometimes the extra low can be known as more or less like a steroid shot to the actual low that was coming through. Or it can just be the deepening or strengthening of the low that's coming through. And no matter what, if it starts to strengthen or deepen as it's coming up the eastern seaboard, it's really going to start to pick up steam and pick up a lot of moisture over the Atlantic Ocean. And if it is there, what we are looking for, in especially a winter storm, is something called the 40-70 benchmark. If it is within the 40, if you see this here, or the 70, these are the latitude-longitude lines. You see where they come together here, just off the Cape Cod, maybe Rhode Island coast. If they get a little bit too close, if a low starts coming up and is coming up the coast very close to that 40-70 benchmark, then that means that it could spread some snow over our area. If you see where Long Island is kind of that black line here, you see New Jersey here, this is upstate New York, and if you bring that low inside the 40-70 benchmark, then you see all these the circles around the low. This is just the center of the low, but a lot of storms have, 2 inches around it, 4 inches a little bit further from that, 6 inches as you go on and on and on and on, and then you have 8 inches, 12 inches, and a lot of these storms actually have a little different amount going with them. So it all depends upon where these storms are coming from and what is happening with these storms. Some of these storms actually, as I said, if they go further south, then they pick up some moisture and some steam as they head up the eastern seaboard. If they actually come across maybe into Kentucky or into Tennessee, and they start to get over the mountains here, over the Appalachian Mountains, they actually lose a little bit of steam. It's kind of like they're just kind of putting over the mountains. But some of these storms that actually are able to get south of the mountains and make it up towards our area, the whole thing that most of these snowstorms that we're looking for is to see if they make it inside the 40-70 benchmark, which is this line right here. If they make it inside, that means west of that benchmark, and that means that the storm has made it inside. If you can see, some of these storms actually, if they go just to the east of this benchmark, they might miss Long Island fully, maybe hit Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Cape Cod. But if they make it within this benchmark, that's what everyone's looking for. And if you see some of the storms that have actually hit recently, this is just the tail end of a radar that was happening on the storm that got close enough to Long Island. And if you see here, this is New York City into here, New Jersey, and this is Long Island here. This storm dumped a few inches over eastern Suffolk County, and there was a lot of scrolling happening. A lot of scrolling across your TV, which a lot of you were probably wondering, why am I seeing winter weather advisories? Why am I seeing all of this happening here? But there was 2 to 6 inches, even upwards of 7 inches that was just dumped on eastern Long Island with this storm. But as you can see, western Long Island didn't get too much because light blue really isn't too much. And Nassau County is saying, you know, why am I seeing all of these scrolling letters? You know, just, you know, why am I dealing with all this? And New York City is like, you know, what the hell is happening here? And but you have your eastern, you know, the Twin Forks here are actually seeing upwards of many inches of snow. And this is just how close storms can get. This storm, you know, was just over the 40-70 benchmark. And you're actually seeing a lot of snow on the eastern end of Long Island. And these are just things that are happening here. If you want to know exactly what's going on here, you can actually go to the National Weather Service website, which is www.weather.gov. And if you go there, you will actually see this map that's happening here of the entire United States. And then you take your mouse and you click over our area, which would be New York City and surrounding areas. Once you click on that, you can get right to our area. This is the entire area where the National Weather Service forecasts for, which is all of southern Connecticut, southern New York, northern into central New Jersey, and all of Long Island. And there's different things that you can click on your certain area of a map, and then it'll give you the forecast for that. I'm going to back up a little bit here. Or you can actually go down once you get to this, once you click on New York City and New York surrounding areas. Down here, this is the link I'm always giving you, the storm total forecast. I'm sorry that everything's kind of blurry. This is the storm total precipitation forecast that is going to happen over the next 12 to 24 hours. This is the map that I'm always giving you coming up, and you'll be able to look at this. I'll be able to give you the link, but I just wanted to show you where exactly it comes from, the National Weather Service. And hope that this shows you just a little bit as to why these precipitation and winter weather advisories sometimes are just a little off. Because if you take a look at this radar again, just imagine how this would have changed had the low been about 40 miles west. Then everything would have shifted to the west here. So then Nassau County would have started seeing about 3 to 4 inches, and then Suffolk County would have started seeing upwards of a foot of snow. And that's just the difference of 40 inches. Just a few days ago, there was the difference of about 30 miles when western Connecticut was getting about 12 to 15 inches of snow, and Long Island was getting maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow. So all of these winter weather storms, they just come down to about 20 to 30 to 40 miles and exactly when they're going to be hitting. So if you're looking at any of these storms, listen to see if they're inside that 40-70 benchmark, because when they're inside that, that usually means we're going to get hit.